2024.
2024. Happy New Year to everybody.
Woo, woo, woo. We are ready.
We are ready, Pam and Renee. We are here, Pam and Renee Untamed. Let's talk about it with another episode, another podcast episode. Just a reminder, we are your real estate experts here in Maryland.
Yes, we are.
Pam is the expert. I'm the real estate. No. That's all wrong. So we are here, and we like to give you a few laughs and help you learn a few things about real estate.
That's the plan, isn't it?
You can reach out to us anytime. Before we start our podcast now, I'm going to give you the email address.
Right.
Best to reach us at pnr.untamed@gmail.com. There you go. You can reach us there anytime. Well, anytime that we read our emails. But we try to do that often.
Yeah, we do. We're good.
And we thought that today we would share a little bit about the life of a real estate agent.
Woo!
Not that you ever wanted to know, but just in case you did. So we've been kind of doing some research, and we have this cute little thing going on here with this Monday through Friday duties of a real estate agent. So we are hoping you'll learn what we do, but you'll also get a few laughs out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we better start out by saying that, no 2 days are the same for a realtor.
It's not typical.
Not typical. No 2 deals are the same either. So it's just you go day by day and you do what you need to do. And there are some realtors who represent only buyers. There are some that represent only sellers. And then there's people like Pam and I who
both.
We can do it all.
We do.
We do everything. We represent sellers, we represent buyers, we represent renters. So we're available for all of those things.
Yes, we are.
So what we decided was we would use this real estate agent who is a fictitious character.
Yes, she is.
She's her name is going to be Susan.
All right, that's a good name. Susan.
Do you like that, Susan?
Yeah, easy to remember.
Easy to remember. So we thought we'd start with Susan, and we would let you know that Susan begins her week on Monday.
It's going to be a busy one.
It's going to be a busy one because it's time to rise and shine. Susan, you got a long, busy week ahead of you. So what does Susan do first thing in the morning? Well, she works out, and then she takes her kids to school like she does all the time. So a lot of realtors become real estate agents because of the flexibility in their jobs. And so this is a good thing. You can get your kids off to school. You can do your workout in the morning if that's what you choose to do. And after that, Superwoman, all realtors are Superwomen.
Of course we are.
Yeah. She arrives at the office and right about 9 a.m. and she takes care of some administrative things from answering emails, social media messages, and phone calls, all of which she'll do throughout the week with no specified time, whenever it happens.
That's what you have to do. When it happens, it happens.
It happens. So it's not unlike us to answer phone calls at god-awful hours.
Yeah.
Answer text messages. I have this philosophy. When I get up in the middle of the night, I check my phone. I'm just getting up to use the restroom, but I check my phone, and if there's any text messages or anything I need to respond to, I respond to it in the middle of the night because it's one less thing to do in the morning. What about you?
Well, I try not to do that because that encourages people to text me in the middle of the night.
Okay, don't text me in the middle of the night anymore. So it's Monday. She takes care of some stuff that she has to do, administrative stuff. And then she has a meeting with her broker, principal broker. So it's pretty common for most realtors to gather at least once a week with their broker or their manager. And they discuss listings that they're representing and some updates and how can they help each other out.
If there's anything that has changed that we need to know about.
Right.
With writing offers.
It's also a good time to talk about, I have a buyer that's looking for X, because then there might be another agent there that says, well, I happen to have X.
That's right. X is waiting.
X is waiting.
That's right.
So, I have a buyer that's looking to get a deal under market. They definitely only want to pay $10, and they're looking for 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a big mansion.
Well, I think you're
pretty screwed. Yeah. Anyway. But it is a good time to interact and do those things. And so on this particular day, we decided Susan was meeting with her broker, and she happens to have a client looking for a villa.
Okay.
Okay, not an Italian villa.
No.
No,
well,
just a villa.
Maybe. Might be one.
Depends on where she works, I guess.
That's right, yeah.
But she's looking for a villa, and lo and behold, someone in her office is just about to list a villa.
That's what we like to find out. That's why we talk to the broker. The broker has more knowledge of this stuff than the rest of us.
Yep. And so one of her colleagues is going to put this villa on the MLS so she can find it. So that was her good news of the day.
That's great news.
On that day, we also decided that she has a listing coming on, and she has to go. She has to go meet the photographer. Oh no, that's the next day, right? Didn't we decide that was the next day?
I think it is.
This
yes.
day, the
Yeah.
villa. We're still on the
We're
villa.
working with the villa girl.
Yeah. So she calls her home buyer, and she sends her home buyer a picture of this villa, and he really likes it, but he's a busy guy.
Well, of course.
So he can only go see the villa on Sunday. So now it looks like good old Susan's going to be working this weekend.
I tell you, well, we work more than not, right?
Absolutely.
Don't you think, really?
And we're always thankful that we're working.
Oh, of course we are. And that's when
Thankful
a lot
for
of
our
people can
clients.
go look at homes because
Yeah.
they're not working.
On
We
the
need
weekend.
them to keep working so they have a job so they can buy the house.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Because the worst clients are the ones that have no jobs and no money.
That's right.
I hate them.
They're not buying a house. Not from us.
Not buying a house. Anyway, so she calls the client, and she's really excited now because now she has a showing set up this Sunday. I must say, here in Maryland, if you get a call from your realtor and they have something for you to see that's just what you've been looking for on Monday, if I were you, I wouldn't wait till Sunday because it's going to be gone.
Not the way it's been.
Not the way it's
We
been.
have nada inventory.
Right. So, well, we have inventory if you want to buy a house. You can call us. We'll find inventory. But we don't have an overflow of it.
That doesn't mean it's going to happen like that.
Not like that.
That's right.
Just like that. Okay, we're clapping our hands.
That's right.
All right. So she took all care of all of that on Monday, and then she went and picked her kids up from school. And went home
Good.
and cooked dinner.
All right. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Multi-purpose people.
We can do it all. So then, she got some sleep, and Tuesday, she got up, and she has this new listing coming on, and so she has a photographer scheduled to go take pictures of the house. But he is kind of new to the game, and she's not worked with him before, so she's going to go meet him at the house. And the house's interior is really nice, so Susan says to the photographer, can you take a picture of me? Apparently, she's always well-dressed. She has her makeup on, right?
All right.
Because it says that agents have to look sharp all the time.
We should, and we should.
And if you had an opportunity to see Pam and I, let me tell you, we are sharp at its
You would
best.
know we're sharp.
We
That's
are
for sure.
sharp. Always looking our very best.
Right.
Right. So, and you also never know when a client might drop by.
Exactly.
So the picture looks good, and she's a pretty social media savvy agent. So she's going to post a picture on her profile showing that how busy a life she lives, and the rest of her day was spent at the office doing Bora data entry. But her clients don't have to know that.
Sure.
But the photographer took a little bit to edit the pictures since he's new to this field, and so she did a little overtime. And by the time she got home after loading all her pictures into the MLS and everything, her kids were already asleep. Another occupational hazard.
Too bad.
Too
So
bad.
sad.
So
Yeah.
sad.
Very
She didn't
bad.
get to have dinner with her kids.
Right.
That's also sort of the state of affairs with us, isn't it?
It is. It truly is.
We learn to eat.
Yeah.
My meals are mostly on
On the fly, as they say.
the
right?
fly, and they're mostly on the passenger seat of the car. I used to think when somebody got in my car, oh, get off there, you're sitting on my table. That's where my lunch goes.
That's where it is.
Yeah, so we never know where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing next. Sometimes we can't even remember what we did do.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the social media, though. Do you post all your stuff on social media, Pam?
Sorry, I had to laugh at that because Renee knows I am not the best at social media. I'm learning. I want to do it.
And she's good. She's learning. Every time I offer to help her, she says, no, thank you.
Well, that's because I'm busy selling houses.
She's busy selling houses.
There
So,
you go.
right.
That's it.
Social media, though, is a big part of our business.
It is.
And that's how we stay front and center.
It's gotten to be a really big part, considering I've been in it for so long, and you have too. We
Yep.
didn't have social media back then.
We did not.
We did not have it. We had to do a little ad in a paper magazine that was left by the 7-Eleven. And
So I just want you to know that we do work on social media a lot.
we do.
And we're always trying to help each other and try to stay a
Right.
step ahead of the competition, right?
And we do have a good admin in the office who is excellent at helping us.
Excellent.
She's the best thing that's happened in this office in a long time.
Yep. So anyway, social media is another big part of what we do.
It definitely is.
So she entered that listing all day Tuesday. She was working in the multiple listings and getting that listing all in for her seller, representing her seller in the house in its best possible light with the new photographer. And she went home. The kids were already asleep. She had a glass of wine, maybe, or maybe not. And she went to bed, but she got back up on Wednesday. And she was back at it.
There you go. That's what you do.
Wednesday morning, she woke up to great news. One of her a negotiation on one of her houses for sale is finally concluded.
Wow.
And they've reached a fair market value to the house. The buyer and seller are happy.
Wonderful.
And so now, just like that 90s pop-up hit, it's closing time.
Yeah, we like it.
And Susan's week is about to get eventful.
Okay.
Closings are our favorite.
That is our favorite. That's what we work for.
We work for closings. You know, I don't know if all of you know this, but sometime within the 48 hours prior to a closing, usually, the lender and the title company give you what's called, mostly the lender, a clear to close. Did you know that those are
clear to close.
Agent's favorite three
Oh,
words?
we love to hear that.
Clear to close.
Yes. That means your loan is there, ready to go, and you can settle.
We are done. So the first thing that Susan does when she finds out that they've come to an agreement is she notifies her principal broker or your manager or whoever, not only, of course, to receive her congratulations, but also because he's the one responsible, he or she is responsible for most of what's going to come next, like, your commission. That's the most important piece.
True.
But then again, she now has to deal with appraisers. And if you live in a lawyer state and not a title state, then we have to deal with the lawyers at this point, and everything related to the closing and its costs. And so, usually when something goes under contract, usually within 30 to 45 days.
About, yes,
It's a long 30 to 45 days for those of us that are working on this end of the deal, though.
And sometimes not fast enough for the seller, the buyers or the sellers.
Sometimes. And we always like to see quick closes because, first of all, it gives people fewer times to come up with problems.
True.
And we can move on.
Yes.
And
so can they.
And so can they.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for a quick close in a real estate deal,
call us.
Call us, for sure.
Or email us.
pnr.untamed@gmail.com. But from now to closing, Susan's going to be really busy because she is going to be going back and forth with the other agent who is representing the buyer.
Exactly.
And she's going to be going back and forth with her seller. Or if she's representing the buyer, then
vice versa.
Yeah. Or versa versa, whatever. So she's going to get everything lined up now, figure out when they're going to do the inspection, figure out, what the closing date's going to be, and
set it all up.
Lender's going to engage the appraiser. She's going to open title, all of those lovely little things. They say that from the time a contract is in place, a home goes under contract, the buyers and sellers agents have somewhere around 104 things tasks that they have to do between the time it goes under contract and the time it closes.
And if you aren't on top of that 104, it could be problematic and settlement may not take place.
That's true. So that's what she did on Wednesday. She was very excited. Wednesday was a good day.
Yeah, very good.
So along comes Thursday. Oh, this is where we forgot to mention that Susan has an assistant, apparently.
Oh, I like that.
We don't have assistants other than the admin in our office. But apparently Susan's assistant is straight out of real estate school. And he's really a hardworking guy who helps with a lot of administrative duties. And he's being tutored, learning some really good real estate tips. That's another thing that we do as realtors on a daily basis. We do help train all the time, always helping other agents. And her assistant reminds her that she's supposed to be holding an open house event on Saturday, and Susan gets terrified because first off, she almost forgot. And there are still some minor details pending regarding the home staging for this event. I guess she's having this house staged, decided, for the open house. So she's got the open house on Saturday and the villa showing on Sunday. she stomps her feet 12 times and says, not fair, not fair, not fair. I have to work all weekend.
There you go.
No
I
time
know.
off.
No time off, but that's what happens.
That's what happens.
Sometimes we have lots of time off, and that's not good.
So you got to seize the busy work, and there will be uneventful weeks in the future. Sometimes our days are quiet, and in the life of a real estate agent, there's the ups and downs. Of course, what do we do when it's quiet? We look for more deals.
We want more ups.
Ups. We need ups all the time. So then Susan tells her assistant to go to the store and get balloons for the open house.
Okay, balloons are always good.
Balloons are good. She tells them to go to the printer and print informational flyers regarding the house for sale. Make sure that she's got business cards and open house signs.
That's true.
She's going to run around the neighborhood putting those open house signs in too.
Right. So people can follow the signs right to where she's at.
Right. And she's a very busy real estate agent, so that's why she has this assistant who's doing all of this.
And one of the other things we have them do is contact one of our our lenders.
Right.
And ask them to do up a flyer saying what it would cost if you bought this house at list price.
Absolutely.
So that people coming in to the open house can say, oh, I didn't know that. Maybe they could use this lender, and talk to them and figure out if they can afford it.
Absolutely. So then she decides that she better go over to this house and see how the staging is going.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. So she says she gets over there. She goes through the house. Everything looks really good. The stager made the windows look much bigger and brighter. I know a trick for that. Do you know a trick for
What is the trick?
Take the screens off.
Oh, that is a good trick.
Yeah,
Yes,
good
it
trick.
is. And having the windows washed is a real blessing.
Really blessing.
Yeah.
And put all the screens in the basement or in a garage or something.
Nicely stacked up, and that's
Yep.
it. Yep.
While the house is on the market, having no screens on the house just makes it seem that much brighter.
That's true.
And see, there's all these tricks of the trade that we're sharing with you. And she also wants to make sure that the outside of the house has been done, the lawn's been mowed, everything looks really good. And you also want to make sure that, have you ever gone into one of those open houses, Pam, where you walk in and they have those deodorizers that they put in the rooms, and they
have a different scent in every room.
Every room, and
too much.
Yeah, you got to make sure
scent.
Light,
same, all the same
throughout the house, and
Yes.
you don't want to have scents. There are certain scents that attract home buyers, and certain scents that don't. So it's kind of like the dog. The dog likes a certain scent and follows other dogs around. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So buyers like certain scents in a house, but you don't want any kind of house scent to be too much.
No, it's just because all they think about is what they're smelling, not what they're seeing, and would they like.
And they also wonder what you're covering up.
Well, sometimes that's a problem. Yeah.
There's that old joke about when you go to the bathroom and you spray too much of that deodorizer.
That people know, right?
In my house, people they'd spray too much, and somebody would come out and say, "Oh, now it smells like shit in a pine forest." Who did that? Now it just doesn't just smell bad in the bathroom. It smells like shit in a pine forest.
Oh my gosh.
So be careful with those scents, okay?
Yes.
All right. Because she posted that beautiful picture on Facebook on Tuesday, a former client of hers saw it and says he wants more details about the house in the picture.
Hey, that's what we pray for.
Yep, we're waiting for the phone to ring and we get those calls. And so she tells him that the house was just listed, and she talks a little about it, and the client gets really excited, and he says he wants to make an offer. Okay, is that how your life works? Because that's not how mine.
Not usually.
No.
No.
Oh, I love it. I just want to make an offer.
It would be great, but not usually.
So she explains to her client that she's the listing agent on this one. And so if she were going to represent the buyer too, she would be in what we call a dual agency situation.
Very precarious.
Very precarious. Yeah. Although in some states it's legal, and in some states it isn't. Maryland, by the way, is a state where you cannot represent both the seller and the buyer. One of them can be your client, but the other one has to be your customer. Right. So
you can write the offer for the buyer, but then you're writing it as a seller's agent.
Right. And you can't tell that buyer what he should or shouldn't do.
He can just come up with his own ideas.
Okay. And so in her state, apparently, our made-up Susan, she can do dual agency, but she still has to make sure that all parties, including her seller, are okay with that.
Right. Everybody has to agree.
Yeah. And then later on Friday, she has a listing meeting. Now, this is where we get dressed up.
We hope so.
We always look our best at a listing. And she meets with this couple. They want to sell their house first, but they also want to buy a new one. And they just had a baby. And so they can't come to her office. So you do the introductory meeting wherever you can. Country club, house, cafe, restaurant, and sometimes in their home. When I go to listing appointments, I always go to their home.
I like it in the home. Because you get an idea of what you're going to be listing.
Maybe I'm not going to like it and I don't want to list it.
Could be.
Yeah. Maybe their house is full of so much stuff that we're like, oh boy.
Use a lot of sense.
Not common sense either.
No.
Okay. So it's always new and different when you're doing a listing. And this one was just a highlight of the day. She loved this couple. And she loved their little baby. And so she was having a good time. And she had been recommended by a former client of hers.
That's the best.
That's the best. So for all of you who are our former clients, we're just letting you know.
We love it.
We are never too busy for your referrals.
That's right.
Absolutely. So send them on over. And so this couple though, they have to buy a house before putting their own house up for sale. So they really clicked with her and they decided that she would list their house and she was going to go back and fill out a listing agreement and send it over to her. And she was on the way back looking at everything in that neighborhood that she might have missed. So remember, we also drive around neighborhoods and take in the sights.
We want to know what everything's about when we're getting ready to list a house, for sure.
Yeah. And so now she goes back to the office and she's working on all of her paperwork. But it's now going to be Saturday. She's gone home. She's gone to sleep. She's gotten up the next morning. And she has to do the open house. And she is at the house waiting for people to walk in. She is waiting and she knows the ugly truth about open houses. So what is the ugly truth?
And what do you think it is? I think the ugly truth is that you can get a lot of people coming and going in open houses, but can't really afford a house.
And you get a lot of looky-loos. That's the truth.
It. Yeah.
You also can sit in open houses and have nobody come in.
True.
But we don't get discouraged about that, do we?
No, we try to bring something along so we can, better ourselves, learn more.
Yep.
Do something like that.
She tries, she stays there and she waits and she tries to have some fun during the event and she makes some good contacts that she might consider down the road to be fruitful, but...
And it could be a neighbor comes by and they're thinking of selling.
Yep.
It's not always buyers that come to open houses.
So that means that we're always on our best game at an open house.
Yes, we are.
Because we could be being interviewed.
By most likely by both.
Potential seller.
Or both.
Or
even
both.
a buyer, right?
Never know.
Yeah.
And so she does her best at the open house. She makes some contacts. She goes home, and she just hopes that some of the people that came through, she might hear something from them.
That's right. But you're going to follow up, right?
Gonna follow up. We got this follow-up plan.
The follow-up is the best.
It's the best.
What you got to do.
Open houses incubate leads for later.
Oh, that's words to live by.
Words to live by.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so then along comes Sunday. Day of rest, right?
Oh, not for Susan.
Not for Susan.
Nope.
Susan picks up her client, Bob.
The one that called.
Yeah, he was the one that called, and he wants to see this house. And it's a listing of her colleague. And so Susan takes Bob over there, and the other agent's already waiting for them at the house to do the showing. But it's not unusual that the listing agent wouldn't be there, and you'd do the showing on your own.
Can go either way, but usually in our area, the listing agent is not there.
Yeah. And so the listing agent is there, and so they are talking, and they're just working together. Susan, we've decided, is a very hard negotiator. So she's negotiating really hard, and she points out things in the house that aren't nice.
Well,
sometimes we have to do that.
And if you're working as a buyer's agent, it's your job, really.
Mm-hmm.
Point out stuff.
Point stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wall's falling down.
Or the carpet has stains on it, or
The ceiling's caving in.
that, whatever, yeah. They have too many cents.
They have too many cents and not enough dollars.
There you go.
We need dollars, not
oh,
cents.
Lots of dollars.
Lots of dollars. So that's kind of how the week of a realtor goes. What are you going to do this week, Pam?
What I'm doing this week is, well, I have one house that just went under contract.
Woo, 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 woo.
That's right. We love it. We love it. And then we're waiting. Home inspection is Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Now, I am the listing agent. I will not be at the home inspection. The buyer's agent will take the buyer through the home inspection. They're doing that, and they're doing a radon test.
Aha.
So once that's done, we'll look at what the results of everything was, and then we go to the seller and say, this is what the buyers are requesting, blah, 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 yes or no, back and forth, and hopefully come to a meeting of the minds.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that would be great, you know.
Yep.
And how about you?
Okay, so I had lunch with a lender colleague today.
Mm-hmm.
We do go out and eat sometimes.
Once in a while.
Once in a while. Not often, but we do go out and eat. So I had lunch today with a colleague, and tomorrow I'm going to audit a class on getting a real estate license.
Oh, so you're going to learn something after all, eh?
I'm going to learn how to teach that class. That's
Yes,
going to be
you
my
are.
next step.
Right? I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
And then let's see, what else are we going to do? We're going to record some more podcasts.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to send some personal notes to my clients.
Well, that's a good thing. A Happy New Year notes.
Happy New Year notes.
Yep, I think that's a good.
Thinking
great
of buying
idea.
or selling this year.
Mm-hmm. I had lunch with another agent today, and he was saying that over New Year's they were at somebody's house, and his mother, who used to be an agent here too, said to him, you know, this person was saying, well, they were thinking of maybe selling, and she's saying to him, give me your card, and he felt very put back by that, so he didn't do it, you know. So I said to him, well, this is what you do: write a nice little note, Happy
your
New
card in
Year,
it.
and just put your card.
And
You don't
send
have
it.
to ask for anything.
Yeah.
They know now, and so hopefully that will work out. Because I said I would, of course, want a referral fee.
Absolutely.
And he, of course, said, no, thank you.
No, thank you. So here's the deal. We're always looking for referrals.
Yes.
And for any of you who are listening to our podcast today, you can refer people to us. So you can tell them that we are not only good realtors, but we're kind of funny too.
Yeah,
And-
and nice people.
We're nice people.
We're nice. Yeah, we are.
I don't know of anybody that's nicer, do you?
No, I don't either.
No.
No.
We're definitely the nicest.
You wouldn't find any nicer realtors. Than us.
Nor would you find any who are better at their job.
True. Or work as hard.
Or
We're
work
in
as
the
hard.
office. We're here.
All
we're
day,
ready.
every day,
You
just
know?
waiting for you to call
We
us
are
so we
waiting.
can sell you a
Sure.
house.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that would be our pleasure.
absolutely. So, my week is going to be, getting off to the right start is in the new year, sending out a whole bunch of notes. I'm going to help Pam with her social media posting too.
Yeah, Pam needs help. We know it. We know she does. We know. Every time I try to do it, but well, I'll get it done. I have an old brain for social media, you know.
I
A
am
good
too.
brain for all the real estate stuff, but the social media stuff, not so much.
Can be tough.
But
So I'm
yeah.
gonna help with some of that this week, and and there's like been drilling and stuff going on in our office too because we're moving some furniture and they're
Getting new
hanging
furniture, getting
they're
new
putting-
TVs,
Yeah.
and oh boy, all kinds of good stuff.
You're gonna
We,
want to see this, so you better give us a shout out to pnr.untamed@gmail.com and let us know that you'd like to come by and see how the office is shaping
yeah,
up.
once we get it all done, we'd love to show you.
We would even be willing to discuss helping you buy or sell a house.
Oh, that's a great idea.
What a great idea.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, sirree.
Yep.
So,
So we do all kinds of things. Also, we're good counselors.
yes.
Um,
If you're not ready to buy, we can work with you to get you on that path.
Absolutely.
You know?
And if you and your significant other are not on the same page about what you want to buy, don't even worry about it.
No.
We love to be in the middle
Right.
when
And-
you guys can't decide what you
And
want.
sometimes it takes going out and seeing what's available. And then they think, oh, that's what I want. I don't think so. It's not exactly what they really thought they wanted, you know?
Right? You know, when I was moving to the East Coast, which I did 19 years ago from California, So any of you in California who are listening, I can.
She'll take referrals.
I'll take referrals. Yeah, there you go. When we were moving here, I know that when I brought my husband here to see some of the houses that I had gone to see to try to figure out what we wanted, his only question was how many outlets there were in the garage of every house we saw. And I said, I don't know. And he said, but that's the most important thing you can know.
Okay, then you had to learn that.
Had to learn that.
Yeah, had to learn it.
I thought the number of bedrooms and bathrooms was going to be important.
Not to him, apparently.
Apparently, it's the number of electrical outlets in the garage.
Well, now with electric cars coming along, it's going to be real important.
It's going to be real important.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we hope you enjoyed this little schmoozy talk here about a week in the life.
Right.
And we would love to be part of your life any week that you would like.
Well, of course we would. And we'd love to hear from you via email,
Yep. If you have any ideas of things you would like us to share about the real estate world, we would love to share that.
We would. Just give us the idea and we'll run with it.
And don't worry about us not knowing about it or not being an expert on it, because we can get real expert real fast.
We have research.
We have research.
Yeah, we do.
We got ways.
We got it going.
We got ways. So we hope we hear from you. Thank you for tuning in again.
Yes.
And we hope we hear from you at pnr.untamed at gmail.com.
And we're looking forward to a 2024 working with you.
And your referrals.
For sure.
So thanks for tuning in.